Hello and welcome to Arts 24. We're at the midpoint in this year's Cannes Film Festival, where a constellation of stars has already made quite a dent in that red carpet. And to tell us more, we're joined by culture editor Eve Jackson. Hi, Eve. It's been quite a weekend in Cannes, a lot of excitement around John Travolta's appearance.
That's right, Olivia. The Pulp Fiction actor was surprised by an honorary Palme d'Or, or Lifetime Achievement Award. He was here for the premiere of his first film as a director, which was called Propeller One-Way Night Coach. Now, it's based on a children's book he wrote and stars his daughter, and he was over the moon on receiving this award.
This is beyond the Oscar, really. This was the blueprint of my life. And everyone that was in the movie is sitting in the audience right there, my family, and this is why this film exists, and actually why I exist as an artist, because of that group of people right there.
Oh, very personal honour for John Travolta there, and he wasn't the only Hollywood star drawing the crowds in Cannes this weekend.
Adam Driver was back in Cannes for Paper Tiger. Now, this is the latest film from American director James Gray, who's something of a festival favourite. Viewers might know him for his films Ad Astra or Armageddon Time. Now, this is a gritty New York crime thriller with Driver, Miles Teller and Scarlett Johansson. Now, they play characters caught up with the Russian mafia in the late 80s in New York. Johansson missed the premiere because she's currently filming the new Exorcist movie. Here's Adam Driver talking about working with the director, James Gray.
He's very respectful of actors' process, even if it's different within the same film, and that's the priority over any shot. And his shots are obviously based on what's happening in the scene. They're character-driven. So he provides you a lot of room and freedom to try something, and because again it's rich writing, there's many options. If it's bad writing, it's only one way you can do it, you know. But he sets a great atmosphere that anybody feels free to try something.
That was Adam Driver talking about his movie Paper Tiger. The actors Kristen Stewart and Woody Harrelson were also here over the weekend for the midnight premiere of Fulfill. Now, this is a completely surreal Paris-set comedy from French director Quentin Dupieux, described as Emily in Paris in Hell. Stewart has really reinvented herself in recent years, moving away from Hollywood blockbusters into auteur cinema and becoming something of a Cannes regular, Olivia.
Anti-Emily in Paris definitely sounds right up my street. Well, from one quirky leading man to another, Eric Cantona is in Cannes this year. The former football star features in both Marvelous Mornings, which is Avril Besson's first movie, and Cantona, a British documentary from David Tryhorn and Ben Nicholas, which looks at his 5 often turbulent seasons at Manchester United. Both films are playing in the special screenings sidebar section. Luc Schroego and Florence Gaillard take a look.
I'm not a man. I am Cantona.
Back in 2009, Eric Cantona walked the red carpet in Cannes alongside his wife, French actress Rachida Brakni, and director Ken Loach, as Looking for Eric put the colourful footballer back in the public's consciousness. Now he's back with 2 entries at Cannes for 2026. In Marvelous Mornings, he plays a wine merchant with a passion for disco.
Figure-toi qu'elle va apprendre à danser le disco maintenant.
Sérieux?
Actors are often boxed into categories. For me, it's either cops or thugs, so it's great to find directors who have a bit of imagination and can picture us in different roles. I made another film that's coming out in August in which I play a racist, homophobic man, the complete opposite of who I am.
Eric Cantona has held over 24 roles from movies to documentaries and even theatre, like here with Ubu Enchained in 2012. That same year, he also dabbled in politics, launching a bid to run for French president, specifically to raise awareness for the poor.
The worst would be not to look, to get used to someone sleeping in the street, to get used to someone dying of hunger.
More than anything, though, Cantona's football career with Manchester United cements his iconic status. With his second appearance in Cannes this year, a documentary from duo David Tryhorn and Ben Nicholas, looking at the triumphs and turmoil of his 5 seasons at the British club.
En France, j'aime plus m'exprimer. Si tu me fais croire que je t'appartiens,
je trouverai toujours le moyen de briser les chaînes et de partir.
From football to film, King Eric's career continues to keep people on their toes.
A fascinating second act for Eric Cantona with this career in film. And among those big premieres, Eve, there's been a really strong showing of Asian cinema this year. You saw a really interesting Korean film.
Hope absolutely blew the roof off Cannes last night, Olivia. It's this wild, blood-soaked sci-fi thriller from South Korean director Na Hong-jin, the filmmaker behind cult horror hit The Wailing. Now, this is 2.5 hours of total chaos. You've got Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander completely transformed as terrifying creatures attacking a remote Korean village, although you would have no idea it was these actors playing those parts. It starts as this crazy action horror spectacle, then it suddenly flips and becomes something much darker and more emotional about who the real monsters are in this world. Cannes audiences loved it, and it was one of the loudest standing ovations we've seen so far.
이거 칼뱅이잖아. 너 이거 어디서 났어?
이거 신고한 건데.
신고 같은 소리 하고 있네. 이게 신고가 되는 총이야?
진짜 신고한 거예요.
맞아요, 신고한 거예요. 허가증도 있잖아.
네.
허가증도 있어요. 제가 봤어요.
이 새끼들 이거 진짜. 야, 저 누가 발견했어?
저희가요.
Definitely looks quite atmospheric, that one. I'll be sure to check it out. Well, Eve, the jury hinted at the beginning of the festival that they're not scared of tackling politics, and that did come up at the weekend.
That's right. Spanish actor Javier Bardem launched a scathing attack on what he called toxic masculinity from world leaders during a heated appearance at the festival. In the press conference, he blamed macho posturing for many of our world problems.
So, and that problem also goes to Mr. Trump, and Mr. Putin, and Mr. Netanyahu, the big balls man saying my is bigger than yours, and I'm gonna bomb the out of you. It's a male toxic behavior that is creating thousands of dead people. So, yeah, we have to talk about it.
Strong words from Javier Bardem there. Now, he is in competition this year with the Spanish film The Beloved. Audiences here know him for Beautiful or No Country for Old Men, which won him an Oscar, of course, and the blockbuster films like Skyfall and Dune Part 2. He's also become one of the industry's most outspoken political voices. He's repeatedly spoken out about Gaza and support for Palestinians, and recently said that activism has cost him work in Hollywood, Olivia.
Indeed, not holding back there, Javier Bardem on the state of the world. Well, contemporary politics are also reflected in some of the films screening at Cannes. One of them, Rehearsal for a Revolution, is an autobiographical take on a national story. Take a look at this clip.
خرداد 1376 رشید یه حال دیگه ای بود. میگفت این بار با همیشه فرق داره. یه نفر اومده که مثل بقیه نیست. به اصرار رشید، مادر بزرگم برای اولین بار بعد از انقلاب رأی داد.
Now, this Iranian documentary, Rehearsals for a Revolution by filmmaker Pegah Ahagarani, is really moving, Olivia. The director looks at 40 years of Iranian history through her family archives, activist stories and protest footage exploring repression, exile and resistance. Now, she herself was sentenced to prison in Iran before fleeing to the UK in 2022. So this documentary is personal and political.
Yeah, and sounds very pertinent. Thank you so much for the roundup, Eve. We're looking forward to hearing more from you later on those big world premieres and staying with current events. We're wrapping up the show with a documentary that takes us to Gaza, where we meet a team of paracyclists training for the Olympics, despite the continued Israeli attacks that have decimated the region. Well, the film's cast and crew arrived in Cannes by boat for their screening. We'll leave you with a glimpse of that film, Gaza Sunbirds. Otherwise, join us here next time on Arts 24 for more news from Cannes every day till the end of the festival.
في مسيرة 2018 هناك طالب بحقه. ما الناس اللي ورانا يقول صعب. كنت أحد أفضل لاعبين في غزة. هذا لغاية 2018. مرحبا، أنا علاء الدالي. حسيت حلم مش حقيقي يعني. أنا قلت له لا تبترهاش أنا بطل فلسطين. بعدين قررت إني أعمل فريق دراجات.
The early days of the Gaza Sunbirds were very tricky.